What is up, DTube and the Steam blockchain? So today I want to talk a little bit about a topic that I have been considering a little bit, and that is a breakaway civilization possible? I want to explain what I mean with that term. So, a breakaway civilization. So let's go back a little bit to something that I was considering a couple of years ago, and that was the simple fact that, well, now when everyone has sort of smartphones, this is kind of military technology in many ways. That a lot of technology starts off as military use, and then it kind of comes down to mainstream. And you consider 2025, you see how advanced smartphones is already right now, and just imagine 5 more years. Is it possible? First, if we look at social media, for example, I think the way people using social media completely is going to change, especially when people realize that you can have automated value systems, because it's then people probably will engage with social media in many other ways than how they're doing right now. And if you just look maybe 15 years in the future, people probably not even going to be on social media, because it won't be needed. So what then potentially can happen is this theory of a breakaway civilization. And that is, you're looking at this whole transhumanism movement and how people are trying to enhance themselves. Right now there's a lot of focus on the external tech, yes, but then probably people are going to try to enhance everything, including biological stuff, which means this is probably first going to be very expensive. So just a few people are probably going to have access to that hyper advanced technology, whatever it now may be. But then if you just look at it, then a potential breakaway civilization would actually be possible, where basically they would have some form of intelligence that is growing at such an exponential rate that you can't really keep up. So it may cause an effect where some people have hyper advanced technology and some others do not have that. But how that in theory would work, who knows? I mean, probably already right now there's a lot of advanced technology that many don't have access to. But at least for now, if you look at most humans, they sort of have access to the same in terms of smartphones and kind of like the software that they're using. But maybe in the future that may become super different, and that may potentially be creating a breakaway civilization where basically a human themselves would have all the resources and tools and AI to basically be able to innovate on their own without always have to seek out external funding, external programmers, because basically you would have the AI that basically program whatever now it is you want to do. For example, let's say you have some super advanced AI. Instead of having to wait for permission for some other big thing to happen, you can basically anonymously go tell the AI, fix this problem that I see here, try to come up with a solution, right? And then potentially you would be able to have it so people that are hyper intelligent would be able to innovate at such an extreme rate that you would create some form of maybe breakaway civilization. And who knows, maybe they would go underground, maybe they would go up in space, who knows. But it's kind of fun to speculate on, especially when you really look at it from automated value systems, and even right now with the internet, you don't even know if you're talking with an AI, if you're talking with a human. You don't even know, right? You know that you're seeing data on your screen, and then, for example, right now with news, especially with Google, it kind of becomes hard to even try to find accurate news, because almost every website is sort of trying to earn money, trying to make money via ads or something like that off of each person, and there's not enough people that are like categorizing things. So it's kind of hard to, and then you also get these that soon you can create fake videos, you can sort of create, of course you can already create like fake information and all of that, and it really, when you really take a look at that, eventually you realize that eventually people are just going to be so probably turned off by all of that noise, and they're probably going to look at a lot of stuff as noise, and they're going to try to look at stuff from a more maybe fundamental way of, maybe in the past they loved to explore stuff because it was so new, like the internet and stuff like that. Maybe in the future they're just gonna look at it as, well, it's just a bunch of crazy stuff, right? So it's going to be interesting to see how that potentially can progress. And also, this is one of the reasons why I love DTube, because you can sort of see people, and you can sort of see that it's like a real human that is actually doing something. And the great part about video is you can see like it's like proof of investment. You can see that a person is really trying to sort of understand things. Maybe they ask themselves new questions. Maybe they're exploring some new field, but at least they're using the best medium to sort of communicate a message by speaking words that is basically creation, and they're also learning more about themselves. Like they're trying to be a little bit more outside of their comfort zone. And they sort of realize what a universe each person is. I think many people realize the more video vlogs they do, they sort of realize there is like limitless intelligence and there's like limitless depth inside of a human even, because apparently from what so smart people have said, the human itself stores all the data from since the universe basically was born, that is like memory imprints inside of you, that a person basically can go inside himself and sort of dive deep into, but that's just what a smart person said. But yeah, I mean, breakaway civilization. We see that the next couple of years, there's a lot of talk about space stuff, there's a lot of talk about nuclear stuff, there's a lot of talk about cloud and AI and blockchain, and all these emerging technologies, faster internet, and they're all gonna connect together eventually, right? And then all that data is going to lead to something. I mean, the first thing it's going to do probably is going to make it so this idea of a job is basically going to fade away, especially those basic jobs where people are earning a salary. As long as it's used something with ones and zeros, you can have an AI do that, and then you sort of get paid from that. And that would basically create it so people have more time to explore other dimensions of life. Maybe they don't do it. Maybe they use party, who knows? But at least they will have more time to look at stuff. And in many ways, in the fast-paced culture of social media, people are not really probably taking the time to try to understand things more in depth, or try to see how ignorant a human really are, and that, you know, seeing that everyone is sort of here to learn. But it's kind of scary, I think, for most people to realize how deep ignorance goes, and that that is like, for example, your knowledge is limited, right? The knowledge that you the so-called knowledge that you have gathered. Maybe it's knowledge, maybe it's not, but what you kind of refer to knowledge, it's sort of limited because you can only store so much in your brain, while your ignorance is limitless. It's boundless. It has no borders, right? You can always learn something new every day, which is kind of cool. So people probably, if you go and search on YouTube for, let's say, automation videos, AI videos, you see how the machine learning is getting better every day in terms of recommendations and stuff like that, and you really start to see that this is real military technology. And you see that a lot of people sort of are worried about where it's kind of going, but it's a lot of that worry probably also is because of that it's something new, and people always usually, I mean, go back to remember that we are very ignorant, and anything that's super new, it looks pretty scary, right? It looks super scary when you're looking at it. And then a lot of topics pop up, like, you know, theories about the possibility of like the worst outcomes and sort of like that. But it's going to be interesting to see how the next couple of years, how they're gonna play out. And social media is just something that has existed for 10 years. It's like, it's not that old. So the way people interact with it today is for sure not how they're going to interact with it in the future. So maybe we're going to see a breakaway civilization. Who knows? But we know that people want to go to places. They want to expand whatever. They want to have, like, we know that people, for example, want a larger slice of life. And we know that if the AI is there for a person in their hands, if they have like the best technology, they're gonna use it, right? They're gonna use it to see what they can do with it, right? So maybe we're gonna see it. Who knows? And maybe it happens without actually people knowing about it, because if something would be that intelligent, it would probably first of all create the best entertainment for everyone first, like an AI that creates the best TV shows, the best amusement stuff, because it would be no cost, because the AI would basically work 24/7 at basically entertaining humans. So even if you, for example, got a breakaway civilization that's like hyper intelligent, maybe run by aliens, who knows, but even if you get that, that doesn't mean that it would be bad for other people, because if something is super hyper intelligent, then it's also intelligent enough to create so everyone sort of still have some fun, right? But yeah, that's what I want to talk a little bit about today. It's really fun stuff, to be honest. It's really fun to look at this world and speculate, and the more you look at almost anything, the more kind of confused you get in many ways, but the more you sort of understand stuff. Yeah, have a great day, DTube. Have an awesome day, Steam Blockchain.